Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Prolegomena gaming stream. Today, we'll be starting off with our Hepatra Vizier of Poisons deck. We showcased this deck yesterday, and it was good enough to go out for another spin today. It has the token engines of Hepatra herself and Nest of Scarabs, utilizing -1/-1 counters to act as removal and give us creatures. If you missed the deck tech yesterday, we can go back and look at that at a different time. But now let's start grinding away. We have our quest for the day: win 2 games with a black-green deck. That is great for Hepatra, so that's another reason we're starting off today. Let's get into it. So we are on the draw here. We have a turn 2 play into Nest of Scarabs if we can draw a land. Unfortunately, yesterday we weren't using the full out lands, so that's like a capital offense. When in doubt, go full art. There's some thought to waiting to play the Exemplar until we have the Nest of Scarabs out, but try to get something on the board, and we can use Splendid Agony to generate our tokens when we get the chance. Starting off, first play Radiant Destiny. We'll need another black source coming up shortly here to unlock both our Chupacabra and the Golden Demise. We have 9 permanents, so taking 9 here. Yeah, no blockers. Try to keep as much as we can for the Golden Demise to not wreck our own board. Another nest, but I think we have to Chupacabra the Lieutenant this turn, and then either Golden Demise or Splendid Agony next turn. Hopefully they don't have another Lord effect, or this is going to be pretty bad. Thank you for the follow, Denny. Appreciate it. Hold these back on blockers. Ixalan's Binding on the Nest of Scarabs would be pretty bad for us. This is our engine card that we need in our deck. The Patra is okay, but Nest of Scarabs can really get out of control. So Ixalan's Binding is going to put us in a real bind here. but we can now sweep the board and start attacking. Settle the wreckage. Moment of craving. Okay, sure. They go down to 32. Martyr of Dusk. So we'll be able to play Hepatra, and they won't have immediate removal for it, so we can get some value out of it. The next turn, we could sack the dunes, put it on the vampire token, and then start whittling our opponent down. Crested Sunmare. That's going to be annoying. But we can trade off here and final reward the creature and just be stuck with the token. We can sack the dunes here, but that doesn't really advance our board that much. We have the 1/1 Death Touch Snake from Hepatra to block the horse. The Chupacabra sounds great. Maybe we can get our opponent to 30 this turn. Put it on. Let's trade the insect up for a 1/1 Death Touch Snake. Pass the turn. Legion Lieutenant. We have a Chupacabra in the graveyard, so we can play Liliana, get it back.
Ooh, I love what
Kill the Lieutenant and crash in. And opponent was at 30, I still believe, but able to grind out the other token deck in vampires with our insects and snakes. Halfway to our quest, our first 200 gold of the day, and Prosperit's Pirates. Get back in there. I don't think I've seen another deck with Hepatra yet, so it's good to be on the cutting edge of greatness. Opponent goes first. We have turn 2 Bloodfast. And if we draw land, we can Golden Demise. And if it's a green source, we can play the rest. Or else we're stuck taking drawing a card with Bloodfast. Since we're on the draw, seems like an acceptable keep. Liliana is the last thing we want against mono red. So we definitely need a green source in our next 2 turns. Moment of Craving. If we wait, we can try to catch a bigger creature. Looks like we were paid off. We'll go down to 16 at the end of the turn and hopefully draw a land. So we can Wrath here or play Bloodfast. Wrathing feels bad, but our Exemplar and Channeler will be 1 toughness when they both come in, which can be pinged off by the Firebrands. So getting rid of them now is, I think, what we have to do. Opponent stuck with the Painful Mana Base of the Trailblazer. So Nest of Scarabs into Exemplar, for instance, will give us a 1/1 and 4 1/1s effectively, which will help us stabilize. But we need to hit a green source or another land, and we can do the same with Soul Stinger, which will give us 2 1/1s. Earthshaker. That is not a land. They have 6, so we're dead on board. We kept 2 lands on the play. Only got up to 3rd mana, so that feels pretty bad, but let's head back in there. What do we got? Let's go Gore. We go first this time. We got Moment of Craving. And number of 3s and 4s. We just need to hit our lands. Opponent mulligans. Maybe green-red monsters. Play the tap land so we ensure that we can play a 3-drop next turn. We might not be able to Moment of Craving a ramp creature. Looks like they were unable to find their 2nd land, so we win that one. Finish our quest. Get a Stormfleet Spy. Now we have enough to get another pack, but Dominaria is coming to MTG Arena next week. And I'm going to see if I can hold out for some Dominaria boosters. I might not be able to, but that's going to be the plan for the moment. Opponent goes first. Two 3-drops. Let's try to get something better. We have 1-drop, hopefully draw a green source. It's not a green, but it's 3rd mana. Let's keep it. If we don't find a green, we can hopefully find another swamp, go up to Soul Stinger. Blue-black control. We can always Field Ruin the Boneyard. Looks like pirates. Blue-black pirates. Unfortunately, this has Menace. And the Siren Storm Tamer will be quite annoying for us. I think we have to use our field here. Might have been better to use it on upkeep instead of waiting in a turn to effectively ramp the mana. We can use it now. So if we put the counters on the Festering Mummy, we can throw a counter at the Direfleet Captain, but they sack their Storm Tamer in response. So we might just put the counters on the Soul Stinger and have 2 creatures back to block. We might have a removal spell for the any of our creatures. Takes the final reward. So you can Mummy and Great Maw. Makes them sack the Storm Tamer, which I think has to happen eventually. So let's just get it over with now. We have a 4/5 and a 2/3 that can throw 1/1 counters. They just let it go. So they want to keep their Storm Tamer. Okay. In that case, let's punch in with the Festering Mummy. If you draw a green source, we can play Hapatra into Channeler Initiate, get a 1/1 Death Touch Snake. Opponent might be a little crimped on mana. We have a 3 mana 4/5 that looking to lay down some beats. Keeping up the activation cost for the Storm Tamer. Might be able to set our opponent back. Daring Saboteur. We can kill this with the Initiate into Mummy. We don't draw green source. Well, has the opportunity to draw opponent cards or loot. So I want to get rid of that. We send it with the Soul Stinger. We take the whole team can come in, so we go down to 9 potentially. I think standing with the Great Maw, the conservative route, but let's try it for now. The next turn we can do Hapatra into sack our Grasping Dunes if we need to. Get a snake. But Death Touch snakes aren't really helpful against a Kitesail Freebooter and a Storm Tamer. Vizier on Great Maw. Soul Stinger. Sure. So if we send them with the Great Maw, they can double block. And then post combat, we could Hapatra into Grasping Dunes. Or Grasping Dunes into Hapatra so they don't kill the Hapatra in response. Let's leave the Vizier alive here. They're down to 10. We have 9 power on the board. They have 4 cards in hand, soon to be 3. Gate to the Afterlife. 2, 3, 4. 4. We send in with Great Maw. They block with Vizier. Throw the counters on Hapatra. We can send in with everything. Try to get Direfleet Poisoner, sure. Just kill that. Brings our opponent up to 3, 4, 5. Go down to 4. Yep. Did they cycle the Obstructionist? That's not good for us. Our opponent is thinking things over. So we can kill the Vizier, but they throw 2 counters on something. And then we just lose. So let's go on to the next one. Luis V. Probably not LSV. We're in the spot again where we need our 3rd mana. I'm going to play this time. After this match, we'll have to check how many lands we have. Make sure it's 26 for the MTGA algorithms. Need to draw that 3rd land. Red, green. It's a land, but not what we want. We draw another land. We can Chupacabra if we need to. We can Demise if we need to. Get our engine going. Get some insects out. Phoenix. It says reach. Take 6 next turn. Two more lands and we can final reward the Phoenix, but we're on the back foot here. Opponent's thinking it over. We can go down to 12. Another Phoenix. All our options are bad here. We can kill a Phoenix, of course, but it will come back with haste. Sure. Opponent just mythic flooded. So we can final reward the bigger Phoenix. Take 3 next turn. That should allow us to stay alive, but it's not really where we want to be. Samut will give the next creature haste. Magma spray on a token. Sure. That's sure. Our opponent just stocked up on mythics. Good for them. But we can do better. We went 6-0 to start off yesterday. Apatra, you can't counter down. Nest of Scarabs. best card in the game. We forgot to check our land count, but we have 3, so let's keep this. Bloodfast, of course. We stabilize, help us out immensely. So we'll probably Mummy into Nest of Scarabs on turn 3. So we can get 3. We can start getting counters off the Nest of Scarabs. Go down to 19. Cycles a cast out. We will gladly block Aspirant if given the opportunity. And put a counter on the Sky Marcher. We can get a 4/4 next turn, putting the counters of the Exemplar on the Mummy, and then getting 3 1/1s. So Vanguard is not good against our deck. You can pay 4 life to give it Indestructible, but we're good at throwing counters on things. So let's start putting counters on things. Exemplar into Mummy, into Adanto, into 7 power. It's a 2 mana. Oh, and we actually get another insect because of the Festering Mummy counter. So 1 green, 1 colorless for 8 power on the board. Sounds pretty good to me. And then we can do the Bloodfast. So that's the kind of explosion that Nest of Scarabs can give you. Good against token decks in the early game. Baffling End on the Exemplar. It's already done its thing. Not sure our opponent the Grasping Dunes. Get another insect here, and then end of turn we can activate Bloodfast, draw another card, and opponent's low on mana, low on resources. So this one's looking pretty good. Give it lifelink, sure. Draw a card. We can sacrifice the if near deadlands on the Aspirant. Get in for 8. I think that sounds pretty good. Try to minimize the opportunity for the lifelink. Pull ahead while we can. Get even more tokens. Our opponent will need some sort of sweeper or wrath effect to stay in this game. We have card advantage and board advantage. Back up to 18. Lifelink working great with Bloodfast. Opponent agrees. Wily Goblin. So we are running 24 lands. We want to put that up to 26 if we can. This Ahmed Eternal has been pretty iffy for us. The Crocodile of the Crossing is great 4-mana 5/4 haster. So we want to keep that. Soul Stinger, maybe not the best 4-mana play, so we can get another Forest and Swamp. Play another game or two with Patra and maybe switch over to blue-white control. Maybe mono-white Monument. Opponent goes first. We upped our land count, but still only have 2 in our opening hand, which is not great. But we are on the draw here, so hopefully we can go Bloodfast into Amit into Chupacabra. Against blue-black control, Moment of Craving is not really what we need. Getting the Bloodfast censored, bad against control opponent, so we'll try to hold that off until we can stick it. Opponent is probably loaded up with Essence Scatters, Sensors, and Removal. We just have to work our way through those. Against the Scarab God, we don't have a lot of options. In the current build, we have a Doomfall if we can get the chance to Creamwell. Sure. Run it back. Now our option here is to play a 5/4 haster, put a 1/1 counter on here, where we can Argo's Bloodfast and draw a card end of turn. I think we'll try to stick the Bloodfast while we can. Try to match their card advantage with ours. The Scarab God here. We need to draw into a Doomfall. Liftkeeper. So our opponent with 5 mana up can't be great for us. Glyph Keeper is pretty annoying against our deck. If they want to get rid of the Great Maw, that's fine. If our channeler gets countered, we can still try to draw a card into Doomfall. Essence Scatter. Opponent just has all the answers. Glyph Keeper is particularly annoying. We need land into Chupacabra to give us another turn, but they take the Chupacabra. Even if we sack the Baleful Amit, we still lose, which is pretty bad. Can't leave it like that, though. Letting blue-black control get to you. Can't have that. Let's go back at it again and then switch our decks up after we win this game. We have 3 mana. Curve starts at 3 on the draw. Depends what we're up against. If it's tokens, merfolk, or vampires, we could probably sweep the board and start playing our stuff. Mono red. Might be a different story. Red green. So our opponent's most likely holding up Lightning Strike if they didn't have a turn 2 play. So we have to anticipate our first creature being killed. Kill the Jadelight Ranger in response. Buccaneer. They ditch the Buccaneer, keep the Magma Spray. So we can get the Scarabs out and then get our creatures going. Our -1/-1 counter theme going. Crasher. Sure. Now we can wait to Splendid Agony on their turn, maybe ambush another creature, or play a Soul Stinger. Try to develop our board as much as we can. It's the most mana efficient play as well. And when this dies, we can try to deal with something on their side of the board. This forces them to use the Magma Spray to keep the on-carp Crasher, so they can just let it go. We'll eventually want to Field of Ruin the Ramonap Ruins, but sitting at 19 against a aggressive opponent is pretty great for us. We can Exemplar of Strength, putting the counters on the Soul Stinger. So we attack first and then do that. Forces our opponent to use the Magma Spray, but we get 7 power out of the deal. Three mana for 6 power. Seems like a good investment. They can kill the insect in response, but spending a removal spell on a token that we get pretty freely, and we still end up with a 4/5. So that's not the game they're going to win. We have 9 power on the board, and we're at 19. They need like a glory bringer here. Like they don't have it. See what they do. You take 9. Sure. Take 5 instead. So 2 mana, 6 power, and then we have Splendid Agony up. They can kill our Great Mob, but that does nothing. And opponent agrees. So we treated Hepatra well. We got another Bloodfast, so that's actually great pickup for us. But let's try to transition into let's go ramp. So this deck features 4 Hour of Promise and Zakama. So we're trying to play Gift of Paradise early, into Hour of Promise, into Zakama. And then we have plenty of lands to tutor up Arches, Fields Ruined, and Ipni Rivulets for the control mirror, for the control battle. And then just grinding our opponent out. We have green black because we want to utilize the Moment of Cravings against our aggressive opponents. Let's see if Zakama 2.0 can put us where we need to be. Got our opponent's Spell Snare. Going by the name, it's probably blue-black. We go first. We have turn 3 gift. We don't have a basic. So we might spring into a basic into gift. And then utilizing Gift of Paradise and the other 3 mana enchantment, we can easily play Settle the Wreckage without having any planes on the battlefield to try to get our opponents. Play our tap land, pass the turn, see what we're up against. So there's blue. They play turn 2 Swamp. We got it just from their name. Picking up Zakama. Not exactly what we wanted, but that's why we run one of the communes in our deck. That and getting lands. 2 islands. They can counter the spring if they want. It's better than countering the Gift of Paradise because the Paradise unlocks our cards. Sure. Blue-white. Approach deck. I have 1 mana up for Censor. They might have a different counter spell, but using it on the Gift of Paradise is not the best if they're using a cancel on a gift. But that's what they want to do. hit our land drops and pass the turn. Opponent is on that blue-white approach life. Missed their land drop. Will they counter the second gift? Again, this is on putting it on a non-basic land, this desert, which will unlock Field of Ruin activations against us, which is always a feel bad moment. But they obviously don't have one, or they would have played it for the turn. Supreme Will, we had 3 mana up, so even if they wanted to, they couldn't have countered. And the turn. See what our opponent can do. We can Flashback Mind next turn if given the chance, or they might have Field of Ruin. They're looking at our gift. Archangel of Sanctions on the gift. It is pretty intense. Edifice doesn't do a lot against us. These were either winning with Sakama or by milling our opponent out. Sakama gets rid of artifacts. Let's try this again. Just trying to crimp our opponent's mana here. That was odd. The Chupacabra was on the screen, but they were looking for the activation of the Gift of Paradise that came from the Angel of Sanctions. It was a little unclear. So we have enough mana for Zakama, forcing our opponent to do something. They can rest the Chupacabra. That doesn't matter. We have enough deserts. Run our opponent out of counters and then land Zakama. Hopefully they don't get the approach win during that time. Getting the rivulets, because that's at least somewhat acceptable against approach. Try to mill it over. Maybe they don't have all the copies. Opponent has 7 mana now. They can do approach. Their edifice locks down a zombie, but it's fine. Kumena's Awakening. Not something that's very common, but it will draw our opponent cards. So let's go to attacks, make them use the edifice, and then we can Doomfall their hand. River's Rebuke, Essence Scatter. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.